So this is my third time making this video. I hope it goes well. So a lot of people want to start dropshipping, but many fail to consider these four mistakes. Number one, IPs and copyrighted products. Now IP stands for intellectual property, and an IP or a copyrighted product basically refers to any item or product that refers to or resembles anything that's copyrighted or that's someone else's work basically. Now a common misconception is that anything you see on AliExpress you can basically dropship, but that's not the case. If you go on AliExpress and type in basketball jerseys, you'll see all these knockoffs. And as someone who's just starting out, you might look at this and be like, well, this is a brilliant idea. We all know sports fans are the most dedicated fans out there. And while you might be able to get away with it at first, as your store grows and you get more traction, you'll probably end up getting either a cease and desist letter or even worse, you might get sued. So just avoid selling anything that you think is copyrighted. It's not worth it, trust me. Number two, make sure your store policies are on point. Now this is a very common mistake I see on all kind of stores all the time. I'll either just see stores just missing some store policies, or it'll be written in a way that just doesn't make sense, which makes it useless at that point. Now I believe Shopify provides templates for some policies such as terms of service, refund policies, and privacy policies. But I believe for privacy policies you're going to have to fill in some blanks, and for the refund policy you're going to have to go through it and make sure it applies to your store and just remove what doesn't. As for shipping policies, you can either write your own or you can just get a template anywhere from the internet, but make sure you go through it and make sure it applies to your store and your shipping terms. Number three, look up tax laws in your country. Now this is something that didn't cross my mind until I was too deep into dropshipping. So make sure before starting out, just look up tax laws, customs, duties, all that for your own country before starting out. Now it differs from place to place, but I believe here in the UK you're not required to register for VAT if your taxable turnover is less than 85k. But you're still able to register voluntarily if you wanted to. That's as a sole trader, of course, which I'm going to be talking more about in just a second. So just make sure you look those up for your own country to make sure there's no surprise expenses that might come up in the future that you weren't expecting. Number four, registering your company. Now, as I just mentioned in the beginning, you're going to start out as a sole trader or an individual. Now, while you can register to be a sole trader, you don't actually have to. You're just that by default. But I believe at a certain point, you're required to register your business as an LLC or something similar, which is a good thing, and here's why. If you get sued as a sole trader, there's no separation between you and the company, which basically means all your assets, your expenses, your revenue is shared with the company. Which means if you do get sued, you're liable and all your assets are at risk. But when you register your business, that creates a separation between you and the company, which protects all your assets and makes sure you're not liable as an individual. So that's it. I hope you found value in anything I've mentioned. And please make sure you go through everything I've said if you're taking dropshipping seriously. And that's it. See you next week.